Wow, I really like that lighting. I've been pretty hot and cold about filming in my room because in one way, it's my room. Nobody can be in here except for me, without, unless I give consent. But the lighting here is pretty bad most of the time. I got this ugly custard wall. I mean, it's funny, yellow is my favorite color, kind of by default, because I am colorblind, so it is the easiest color for me to see. At least I think. I don't have non-colorblind eyes to compare it with, but I'm pretty solidly sure that stuff is yellow most of the time. And it was all yellow. So yeah, my skin just looks like this weird, unpleasant complexion when I film in here a lot of the time, but I have rested my camera on top of my air conditioning that's in the window, and hey, this looks pretty good. Just testing out faces for my calendar. I just had a little Zoom meeting with my friend Michael from Holy Sheep Productions, and man, we feel really, really rejuvenated after that initial film festival I already talked about, but there was also a second film festival that unfortunately I couldn't go to because of work, called the Oregon Screams Horror Festival, and we entered our film into that one too, and apparently it went over really, really well because it was a horror movie crowd of people, whereas the Video is the Future one was kind of mixed. There were still a lot of horror movies in it, but a lot of different kinds of filmmakers. And so pure horror people really, really seem to like ours, which I wish I could have been there to hear the good response from. But we also won 2 awards, one for each film that we had entered, because once again, we got 2 slots in this festival. Man, it really, really feels like we're on to something good. And a lot of the filmmakers that were in these film festivals, even ones that made films that were obviously higher production quality, they obviously had a lot more money, obviously have just been doing this a lot longer than we have. They've been super, super nice to us, and following us on Instagram and, liking when we post about, hey, we got screened at this festival. It seems like we're legitimately respected. I'm sure that people would be kind of nice to us in passing, but I get a real genuine sense. And I only have to keep saying that because my very first assumption somewhere in my mind when somebody gives us a compliment is they have some ulterior motive, or they're just being generous. It makes them feel good to talk badly, or, to say something nice about the guy who's not as good as them. I think we're really, really starting to get a community, and it always, since we've started, it's always felt like we're right on the brink of something big happening right around the corner. And I mean, it will probably be years. It will probably be, I have a feeling that we will get a legit lucrative movie deal right as the apocalypse finally happens and just buries us all beneath dirt and fire and water and air. It's going to be a disaster that combines all 4 elements. Isn't that interesting? All 4 elements are deadly in some capacity. I never thought about that before. I mean, it makes sense. But wow. We are at risk of dying from all 4 of those things in these late stages of the Earth. But yeah, so right now we're trying to work on a 25-minute film. We've done pretty much now pretty much just like 10-minute or less movies so far. So we're trying to step it up to, can we write something that's 25 minutes? Can we write a cohesive, put together, can keep your attention for 25 minutes project? Because it's kind of a stepping stone to doing a feature. And so but I just said before next Tuesday, I'll try to write 1 single page. Just 1 page every single day until next Tuesday. I know I can do that. It's a micro habit. I can set deadlines for myself, and I also just need to take off the table that it's going to be any good or that I will ever see the final product. That's the thing about deadlines. Deadlines where you say, I have this time for this completed, perfect thing to be done. Deadly. As I said in the War of Art, resistance loves that. It loves strict deadlines that you cannot meet for your finished product. But deadlines for, I'm just going to give it a whack, going to give it an attempt. Because I could fill out 7 pages, 1 page every day, where every single thing that any character says is poopity poop poop poop. I can do that, and I would have still technically met the deadline. But what that does is it takes all the pressure off of me and makes me even want to give it a try in the first place. When I'm like, I can create, my goal is 7 days from now to make 7 pages of potential absolute garbage. If I make one good salvageable page out of all that, that'll be pretty cool, right? I'll have 1 page finished, which is about a minute of dialogue. I'll have 1 of the 25 pages done. You know, you will have something if you just keep doing it. Which is why I'm confident that one of these days I will be a person who is worth being on this planet if I just keep living. Still haven't experienced it yet, but I'm sure it's right.